Hello guys, welcome to today's video. I got a treat for you guys. This is a Dell Dimension 3000. It's in my kitchen right now because it's the only place I can film. And as you can see, it is in fact a Dell Dimension 3000 with a Celeron. Very common config, from what I can gather from the time many of these Dimensions were sold with a Celeron. I believe it's a 2.66 GHz Celeron D. It's slow as anything, as you can guess, for being a Celeron. This one is equipped with a floppy drive. I don't know why. It had half a gig of RAM configured with it as well. Every other Dimension 3000 I've seen with the Celeron and half a gig of RAM never had the floppy drive configured with it. So this is a unique config from the 15 or so I've seen with this kind of configuration of the Celeron, half a gig of RAM, and whatever else. Unfortunately, I would be doing a boot test of the machine and showing you it today, powered on, but this Dell Dimension 3000 developed an issue last night when I was initially filming the video. The video chip on board has gone bad. That's the best I can think of why it's not displaying video. It displays text with some garbling lines. I've tried 15 different DDR 333 and 400 MHz RAM sticks, and the system just will not boot into Windows displaying video. So I'm going to show you guys an overview of the Dell Dimension on the inside and the ports on the back, and the future upgrades I'm going to do with this machine. So let me adjust the camera for 1 minute and pop the side of the panel off the case. Okay, now the side panel's off. As you can see inside this machine, it is immaculately clean, as I put a lot of effort into cleaning this machine up last night. Inside of it, you'll notice we have 3 PCI slots, not PCIe, but PCI. We have the half a gig of RAM inside the system. It's got 2 DIMM slots for either DDR 333 or DDR 400 MHz RAM. Underneath this shroud is our Intel Celeron D. And you'll notice there's no fan on the CPU cooler. And that's because Dell's design back then was to use a sort of a passive cooled system where the system fan did all the cooling. Now this is a very good cooling system. It keeps these CPUs pretty cool. You'd think it'd get pretty hot pretty quick, but not with this Dell. Above that we have the factory 250 watt Dell power supply, revision A1. Up here, barely out of sight, we have the CD rewriter drive. I believe it can only rewrite CDs. I think it might be able to play DVDs. I'm not exactly sure. I'll have to really confirm that one later on. Over here is the original 40 gig WD hard drive with the original factory image on board. In another video, we're going to be making a backup of this image, and I'll be uploading it to an archive site for preservation for this system and any other Dell Dimension 3000 that needs that restore image. Above that is a floppy drive. It's mounted in a caddy that screws in with 1 screw. The hard drive caddy is also held in with 1 screw. Very user-friendly, which is something you don't see anymore in PCs from OEMs. They're not user-friendly anymore. In this Dell Dimension, I do plan on adding in a DVD rewriter drive as well, on top of the CD rewriter. I do plan on removing the networking card, which is a modem. I'm going to remove that in favor of a wireless card, maybe. I'm not exactly sure. I do have an XP compliant wireless card, which would fit this machine perfectly. Underneath that is probably where the wireless card will go. Up here is going to be a video card. I'm not exactly sure just yet, but it's going to be a PCI video card. Underneath that, I may add in a FireWire card. I'm not too sure about that, though. I may keep the networking modem and just bump it down to here. I'm not too sure. Some early revision Dell Dimension 3000s up here had a artifact for a accelerated graphics port slot. This one is so late in the cycle, it doesn't have that. And somewhere down here would have been a SATA port header thing. Once again, missing. You know, the artifact for the SATA port. So this machine here would have been about, I want to say $534 back in 2004, 2005. And this would have been many people's first computer. In fact, this one came from a Rent-A-Center. It has the original Rent-A-Center sticker, property of Rent-A-Center, on the top and the back. So, I don't know if this thing was ever paid off. It must have been, if they still had it, when this thing was on the curb 2 days ago, which would be, what's today's date? I think today's the 18th of November. At the time of recording, I got it the 16th. And yesterday it developed the video problem. When I first got it, the CMOS battery was toast. Put a new one in, the system was working just fine. Maybe the system just needs a video card, but I'm ordering another Dimension 3000 motherboard soon. I'm going to add a video card on the system. Maybe upgrade that Celeron to the Pentium 4. And keep this thing pretty much set to the time period of 2005, 2006. As that's really when this computer would have been used. 2007 would be a stretch, to be honest. Especially back in that time. This thing was already a old machine at the time it came out. This machine in 2005 would not have been able to run Vista beyond like Vista Basic. And the 2 gigs of RAM it can maximally support isn't bad. This is probably only going to be upgraded to 1 gigabyte of RAM. XP does pretty good with a gig of RAM. A decent video card, probably like a 256 megabyte NVIDIA or ATI card is going to go in here for video output. I'm going to load up games from that time, 2004, 5, and 6, and use this machine as my XP box. It's really just a capture of that era, and now that I got that all out of the way, let's take a look at the ports on the back. Okay, so we're going to be taking a look at the ports on the back. Up here you have the original factory power supplies, power in, voltage switch for 115, and I want to say 225. Down here we have our serial, our printer, our VGA, and right here is the diagnostic lights every Dell has. Down here are our PS2 ports for keyboard and mouse, microphone, line out, line in, 4 USB 2 ports, an Ethernet port, and down here our modem. This will be replaced eventually or moved down to this bottom port. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do with it just yet. We may add the wireless card in today as our first upgrade, but other than that, I'm not too sure what else we'll be doing in today's video. Let me go grab the wireless card and we'll be right back. Okay, I could not find the wireless card, so we're going to have to take a look at upgrading this when I have the new motherboard, as I also decided it wouldn't be a wise idea to upgrade it the way it is right now. Because I have no way of testing anything to see if it works, because I can't even get a video to output on the machine. So how good would it be to have an upgrade if you can't even see if it works? So with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.